Just how sophisticated is this? Because there's much reports that actually they're getting behind the encryption. Are they really?
Yeah, I mean, I think we are uncertain about what indeed they have right now. What it appears is that they have information from the CIA on their hacking techniques and what they're doing to take advantage to exploit various devices and various programs. What I think is also going to be interesting is to find out how indeed they found this information, because it seems to be that they have somebody on the inside. And this will be yet again a major breach by an insider of the United States intelligence community. And I think that's just as troubling as these leaks themselves, because how can we really ensure that our most secret information is indeed held in secure in the way that we need and we trust it?
I mean, suddenly it begs the question, Alex, whether classified information is going to remain classified here on out.
I think we've demonstrated time and time again that secrets don't remain secret for long, and there are far too many secrets here, secrets that impact U.S. civilians on a pretty regular basis. I have a Samsung TV sitting in my bedroom. My daughter has one in her room, and it really raises the question that, well, backing up a bit, the U.S. government today has a policy on disclosing vulnerabilities as a means of course, except for when they're needed in rare instances of national security. And this seems to have been not honoring that agreement, this hoarding of vulnerabilities that impact criminals in some cases, but far more law-abiding citizens than not. And when those vulnerabilities aren't disclosed or brought to the public, they put us all at risk.
And so, the possibility, the realms of possibility, had you always assumed, Brian, that this was possible by the CIA, that they were able to get through the encryption and we just weren't being told about it?
I think that we should all believe that they are trying their best to defeat our most advanced technical means, because it's in our interest. In fact, as a U.S. citizen, while at one hand this may scare you, on the other hand, you may also want your intelligence community to have the capabilities to indeed find out information that may be in the hand of an adversary. And so, in one sense, you applaud their ingenuity. On the other hand, however, I think you need to be more and more concerned about how far this keeps going, and I think this is yet another rift in the Silicon Valley, Washington, Silicon Valley intelligence community divide, because what it seems to be is that they are indeed targeting now more and more devices that are connected, and indeed they are also targeting these applications that are built on the fundamental premise of encryption.
Alex, you've got a bug bounty platform. That's what HackerOne is. It's connecting the community with sort of ethical hackers to strain some of the underlying technology that they offer. Are companies like Facebook, where you used to work, which owns WhatsApp and the like, actually pouring enough in terms of their own R&D to ensure that they're able to combat the learnings of the CIA in this respect?
Yeah. Something that everyone who uses our platform and engages with the hacker community realizes is that, of course, there's vulnerabilities in technology. That's not the surprising news today. The surprising news today is that there are vulnerabilities identified that haven't been immediately reported and remediated so that we're all protected. Many organizations take those steps to try to identify as many as possible, but nobody believes that they have found them all, or that they're the only ones who have found them, which to me is the most egregious part of this whole experience. It takes a certain amount of arrogance to believe that once you've found a vulnerability that you are the only one who has found that vulnerability, or the only one capable of identifying that vulnerability.
I think what's really notable about this particular revelation from WikiLeaks is the documents show the tools are being used 2013 to 2016. This is really recent.
Yes.
Brian, and the vulnerabilities therefore likely to still be there, or will the likes of the ethical hackers shown that Samsung TVs perhaps could get a little bit safer, and WhatsApp does need to ensure that its phones can sometimes be broken into and then hacked pre-encryption?
Yeah, I think, well, yes, I think many of those are probably still there. I think as we speak, people are trying to go through the information and see what was disclosed and what they may not know, and there is work being done to ensure that those holes are being patched very rapidly. But I think the other interesting angle that we should talk about is the continuum of what this leak means. I mean, what we're seeking is, it's no longer leaking information to an enterprising reporter. It is giving, troves of documents to somebody to then publish widely. And that really starts to call into question how we're going to actually have an intelligence community. And the question for the hacker community is this the behavior that they're encouraging, which is to go ahead and take as much information available and disclose that, rather than just disclose one important issue?
What does your hacker community think, Alex? Because WikiLeaks has been around for several years, and whether you like it or loathe it, these sorts of pieces of information do get into the public domain, and they feel it's for force for good in many ways. What do the hacker community believe? Do they believe that this is the way to go about
the
spreading
disclosure guidelines on HackerOne are very explicit. If you're in possession of a vulnerability, the very first step you should take is get it into the hands of the vendor or the manufacturer who's capable of fixing and eliminating that vulnerability. I would encourage the CIA and the US government to do the same as frequently as possible. And now it's clear that this information has leaked and is in the hands of other people, like at least WikiLeaks at this point very probably has access to these vulnerabilities or these cyber weapons, and I would encourage them to follow the same practices of immediately disclosing those vulnerabilities so that we can be protected from them.